Namaste. Good morning. A pleasure to be here with you in the new year for our Hatha Yoga practice this morning. We're going to begin in a seated position. So sit elevated. If you have a bolster or a folded blanket, if you're using a block, you may want to soften it with a blanket on top. About a 4 to 6 inch lift of the pelvis. Recently, I just did a meditation with T.S. Little, welcoming in the new year, and just picking a couple of treasures from that meditation to begin our practice this morning. Gently close your eyes. And take a nice deep breath in. Let it go with a gentle sigh. As we begin to settle, take another deep breath in. And let it go with a gentle sigh. One more breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And now allow the breath to flow in and out of your nostrils, however it's meant to, beginning to find your breath print. Length of breath, depth of breath, without speeding up, without slowing down. Allowing. There's a saying in the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, be still like a mountain and flow like a river. Be still like a mountain and flow like a river. Allow your leg bones and the pelvic floor to sink heavy and still like the mountain. And begin finding the flow of breath through the spinal column, like the flow of a great river. And allow the flow from the tip of your tailbone all the way up to where the spine meets the skull. So the skull could bob and lift, however the flow of breath deems. This is a flow. As you sit upright, you also sit at ease. As you sit upright, you also sit at ease. The eyes are gazing downward, the jaws relax. And you begin watching the flow of breath. Knowing this flow is attuned to the great flow of everything around us. Every moment is, in a sense, rising anew. And if you have distractions around you, sounds, the hum of the refrigerator, traffic outside your space, these two are in the great flow of the river. Thoughts that arise from the past, from the future, these two are in the great flow of the river. Continually moving. You sense the flow within. The breath flow. Circulatory flow. Metabolic hums of your own body. These two are always rising anew. Your body is always part of this great river, always flowing. And should you feel stagnant, should you feel blocked, back to the sense of the great flow. Place two palms together with your thumbs against your breastbone, bowing your head. Take a moment to acknowledge your commitment to the practice. beginning of this new cycle. It's beginning anew. Continue flow, moving the body, lifting your head. Release your palms. We're going to lower down on the mat. Have the legs spread long. Take a slight lengthening of your skull, the back of your skull to the space behind you. Still want to feel that length of the spinal column. If we continue thinking about it as a great river, if you will, we want to keep it open and free. Let's start this morning with a nice, in the physical body, with a nice big stretch, inhaling the arms over your head. Lengthen the heels away from you as if you're walking the legs long. Great big yawn of the body. You can bring space into the toes, however it feels good for you. Breathing in and out. And release. And then invite the shoulders, arms, and hands to the left corner of your mat and walk the heels to the left corner of your mat. Keep both buttocks planted. If you'd like, you can cross the right ankle over the left and grab hold of the right wrist. Let's do a lateral stretch, the right side of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember to keep the buttocks planted, jaw soft. Keep following the flow, breath flow, the river within. Relax, walk it back to center. And then we'll move to the other side. So shoulders, arms, and hands to the right corner of your mat or your space. Heels to the right corner. And if you'd like, cross left ankle over right. You can grab hold of the left wrist, buttocks planted. So you might have to adjust to settle that left buttock on the mat. You'll notice how the left hip pops up a little. And we settle it back down. Great. And then let's walk it back to center. Bend your knees, step your feet on the mat. Take the heels of the palms on top of your thighs. And one at a time, lengthen a thigh away. Right thigh, left thigh. We're down sloping a hip. So when you push a thigh away, that hip down slopes. The other hip naturally up slopes. This is what happens when you walk. And if you close your eyes, you can trace your sacrum, the bone right above your tailbone. You can feel how this affects the sacrum, lengthening to the space in front of you. And we're just feeling what's going on in the lower back and the hips. Notice, notice, notice. And relax. Then hug your right knee into your body, interlacing your fingers just below the kneecap. Inhale, tuck the chin into the chest. Exhale, lengthen your forehead as far as you can to the knee. And slowly lower down, shoulders, neck, head. Now gently rock your right knee side to side. Rolling the top, your femur head, thigh, the top of your thigh bone, through the hip socket, the acetabulum, shaped like a wine, top of the wine glass. Notice how it feels all the way to the right and all the way to the left. Have you lost sight of breath? It does happen that quickly. Coming back to center, hugging again. How does it feel? Switch your hand placement, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh. On the inhale, extend your right leg. On the exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Feel the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. And on this extension, hold. Rotate your ankle around as you press palms into thigh and thigh into palm. Go in the other direction with your ankle, pressing palms into thigh and thigh into palm. And now point and flex. Work deep. What do you feel happening? Where do you feel the stretch? Top of the foot, back of the calf, the ankle. Come to a flexed foot. Tuck your chin into your chest and begin sliding your palms anywhere up the back of the right leg as you lift your forehead up towards the knee once again. When you come to a place that's good for you, slowly lower down, shoulders, neck, and head once again, but taking the leg with you, imagining the right thigh melting onto your right abdomen rather than pulling the toes over your head. Imagine thigh melting onto belly. Thigh melting onto belly. Slide the left leg long. Keeping the legs where they are, bring your arms out to a T. I would recommend palms facing up. It helps the shoulder blades relax, but I'm just the guide. If you like your palms, prefer them down, well then by all means, keep them face down. We're going to go into a little series now, Vinyasa. So Vinyasa is breath to movement. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're gonna open up this right leg to the right side. Can you feel both buttocks on the mat? Yes, you don't want that left buttock popping up. Now on the inhale, lift your right leg to the ceiling again. And on the exhale, cross your right leg over your body to the left side or twist. You can let your head turn to the right if you like. Inhale, lift back up to center. Feel the roll out of your sacrum and lower back. Exhale, open up the right leg again. Be mindful of the buttocks. That's the new book you're writing. I'm being mindful of the buttocks. Inhale, lift back up to center. Exhale, cross the right leg over your body again, twisting. As far as feels comfortable. Inhale, lift back up to center. Exhale, open the leg again. Inhale, lift back up to center. Lift with the inner thighs. Lift with the inner thighs. Exhale, cross over the midline. Inhale, lift back up to center. Exhale, open the leg as far as feels comfortable, as far as that leg will go before the buttocks are interrupted. So last time here, inhale, lift with the inner thighs, adductors, you're lifting with the adductors. Exhale, cross over. Inhale, lift the leg back to center, hold. Bend the left leg, stepping the left foot on the mat. We're gonna rotate the right foot. Ankle in, ankle out. But what we're really doing is rotating the femur head in the acetabulum. What does that mean again? The top of the femur head is rotating in that wine glass of a hip socket. So yes, it looks like we're just turning our heel in and turning our heel out. Heel in, heel out. But could you imagine it originating from your hip? Rotating your femur head through that wine glass. Couple more. You're isolating through the hip, even though it looks like heel in and heel out. We're going to end with the right heel pointed at the midline, right toes pointed out. Simply bend your right knee and stack your right ankle on top of your left knee. Now gently rock from side to side, rolling out the lower back. Notice how it feels. Do both sides feel the same? Has the river of breath been dammed up? Remember to pay attention. We are going to rock both knees over to the left so that your right foot is planted. Your right knee will face the ceiling. This is a psoas stretch. And if you'd like to feel a little more sensation, take your left palm mid-right thigh and gently press away as if you were pressing the skin of your right thigh off of your thigh bone. And if you'd like, you could bring your right arm above your head, resting it on the floor, but take a bend in your elbow. It'll help ease your shoulder. So the psoas will run just below your rib cage, through your waist. It's plugging into your hip. You feel that space being created. Really nice stretch. Let's take another breath. You can always hold for a few more breaths. If your right hand's above your head, lower it back to a T. Release your left palm. Let's step back on the left foot. We come back to center. Right leg still crossed. And we're going to lift the left foot off of the mat. Interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. And on the exhale, melt the left thigh in towards your left abdomen. If it feels okay for you this morning, exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, and reach your forehead any amount towards that right shin. And then gently lower back down, shoulders, neck, head. And maybe on the next exhale, coax that left thigh just a little closer to the left abdomen. And then release your palms, lower your left foot, uncross your right, feet are hip distance apart. Press your heels into the mat, center of your heels, as if you were crushing a sesame seed that was under the middle of your heels. A little sesame seed, you are crushing it. And relax. And now let's draw the left knee into the body, interlacing your fingers just below the knee. Tuck the chin into the chest, exhale the forehead any amount towards the left knee. How does this side feel? And gently lower down, shoulders, neck, head. Let's begin to rock the left knee back. Imagining the femur head rolling back and forth through the wine glass, the top of the wine glass that is the acetabulum, your hip socket. Might feel cranky when you go outside or inside. Maybe you're very fluid on this side. And let those sensations flow with the great river. That's why it's a nice analogy, because you won't become attached to what you're feeling. Come back to center and hug in. Let's move our hand placement underneath the thigh. And on the inhale, extend. On the exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Feel those hamstrings working as you extend. And exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. And this is the last one. As we extend, we press palms into thigh and thigh into palms and begin rotating your ankle around like a blade of a helicopter, whirring around and go in the opposite direction. And now point and flex. Stay with the flexation now. tuck the chin into the chest. And on the exhale, as you slide your palms at the back of the leg, you're also lifting your head towards the knee. And then when you feel comfortable where the palms are, and they could be anywhere, just avoid behind the kneecap. Lower shoulders, neck, and head to the mat, encouraging the left thigh onto your left abdomen, rather than imagining you're pulling the left toes over your head. You are melting the left thigh onto your left abdomen. And imagine that happening with the exhalation. Slide your right leg long. See if you can flex that right foot. Jaws relaxed. Bring your arms out to the T formation. Remember, try palms face up, unless that's totally uncomfortable for you. On the inhale, we're gonna open up the left leg out to the side, buttocks stay planted, because we wanna keep the right hip as planted as possible, just like when our lateral stretches in the beginning of class happened. Now on the inhale, lift with your inner thigh, you are strong. And on the exhale, cross the midline of the body. You can turn your head in the opposite direction. Inhale, lift back to center. And on the exhale, open up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cross the midline of the body. Great work for the lower back here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Buttocks stay planted. Inhale, lift. It's the second chapter of your book. Exhale, cross the midline of the body. My buttocks are still planted. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. You've just written the last chapter. My buttocks are still planted. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cross the midline of the body. Do one more set. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. You're a famous author now. Everybody follows you. My buttocks are planted. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cross the midline of the body. And now, when you lift the leg, hold. Bend the right leg, right foot planted on the mat. And here are our hip rotations. So if it's still not making sense to you, the femur bone rotating in the hip socket, well then just rotate your heel in and out. And guess what? You are rotating your femur bone in the hip socket. Heel in, heel out. Okay, and let's do one more rotation. And we're gonna end with the left heel pointing to the midline, the left toes pointing out. This way, it's very easy to bend the left knee and stack the left ankle over the right knee. Now gently rock. How's it feeling? I know I'm wishing my left hip felt a lot more like my right hip. We're gonna rock both knees over to the right and step the left foot on the floor. If you want more sensation in the Psoas stretch, take your right palm mid-left thigh and help the left thigh gently press away. It's a gentle press. You can use that visualization that you're pushing the skin off of your thigh bone. You can bring your left thigh above, your left arm, above your head. Take that gentle bend in the elbow. Nice opening to the side body. You might want to root into the big toe mound of your left foot. Really feel how that deepens the origin of the stretch. We talk about every cue. I never get to the entire class. Let's release the right palm, the right arm, and then lower the left back to the T formation. Step on the right foot. Come back to center. And on the exhale, lift your right foot off of the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your thigh. You know, if the hips are cranky, you can still leave the arms out to the side. If you want to go a little deeper here, you can interlace your fingers around your shin. Be mindful of your knee. That'll really get you in the kneecap. And if you'd like to, you can tuck your chin into your chest and exhale your forehead and your mouth towards your left shin. Keep those shoulders relaxed, the jaw relaxed. Can you try keeping the bones, the temporal bones by the ears, soft? And then slowly lower down, shoulders, neck, head. Release the palms and then lower your right foot, uncross the left, lower the left foot, and we'll take that moment to give that little press, crushing the sesame seed with the center of the heel once again. While you're doing that, interlace your fingers behind your head. We'll be cradling the head in the following work for the core. So think that your hands are doing all the work. If you have lower back issues, that your back hurt in any of the, I hope it didn't hurt, but it gave you any kind of sensation, you're going to want to keep your feet on the ground. Keep imagining the sesame seed. Otherwise, lift your shins parallel to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to lift the head and twist to the right. When we're twisting, we're exhaling the air, and you can feel how we're contracting the left side body and lengthening the right. On the inhale, we're going to lower down, press the head back, press the elbows back, and then on the exhale, twist in the opposite direction, by letting go of all the air in the body. Inhale, press back. Exhale, lift and twist. Inhale, press back. Lift, twist, exhale. Inhale, press back. And then twisting and exhale. Inhale, press back. Lift, twist, and exhale. Inhale, press back. Lift, twist, exhale in the opposite direction. Inhale, press back. Exhale, lift and twist, opposite direction. One more set each side. Inhale, press back. Exhale, lift and twist. Exhale, all the air. Inhale, press back. Exhale, lift, twist. Let go of all the air. Inhale, press back. Head, elbows. Release your hands. Hug the knees in. And then separate the knees towards your armpits, but keep the feet together. Shoot your hands through the space between your knees and grab hold of your ankles. So this could be a fine way for you to do happy baby, or you could bring the feet towards the ceiling and hold on to the ankles. That could be for you this morning. Or you could grab hold of the outer edge of the feet. Either one of those, great way to do happy baby and release the oblique muscles we just worked on, like basket weave muscles deep within the body. You could feel that happening. If you'd like, you could add a gentle rock. Do not throw yourself left to right. If you're moving a couple inches to the left, move a couple inches to the right. If you're moving an inch to the left, move an inch to the right. Feel the symmetry. And the flow. Let's come back to center. Help the knees together, hug them in, roll to the side. Use your top hand to press you up and take a blanket if it's nearby. If you're on a carpet, it's probably easier. Maybe you won't need one. And if you have a block or a bolster, or you come into a toe stretch, it's really helpful, toe stretches. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. You might want 2 blocks and a bolster. Let me show you why. I was working with this over the weekend. I know toe stretching can be hard. So if you wanted to prop underneath your buttocks as you curl the toes under. This is what a toe stretch would look like. We tuck our toes under, and it can be helpful to put a prop underneath your buttocks. But as we hold here, perhaps you want to lean forward at times to relieve some of that pressure. And I saw a teacher that used blocks. Blocks just bring the floor up. So if you had a book, or you could put your bolster in front. So this was a nice setup. Otherwise, you don't need, you could try. And as you've noticed, all these years later, I've yet to get my pinkies underneath me. I'm still a work in progress. Do as much as you can, however you want to lean forward. But we're always on our feet. It's important to keep the feet open. Open that plantar fascia. Keep the toes malleable. Breathing in a fluid breath from the tip of your tailbone through the inner spine, right to the top of the skull. Think of that bob. Think of that lift. Try 2 more breaths. And then lean forward. You can use your blocks or just come onto the mat. Today we're going to tuck the toes under, come back for an ankle stretch. Bring your hands behind you. When you lean back, your knees may come off the mat, they may not. If it's in your practice, you might try to place your hands on top of your knees, hollowing the belly. It's a bit of a balance. Okay, and then we'll come onto the mat and let's shake it out or bounce it out. Come towards the big toe, come towards the pinky toe. Right, and we'll come into some cat and cow. So palms under the shoulders, hips over the knees. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, high arch of the cat. Press into the mat. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, lift the tailbone, shoulder blades sliding down the back. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. One more set. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Come to neutral. Take your right knee closer to your left. Slide your left leg long. Now you can feel that whole metatarsal pad as we rock on it. Opening up the back of the left leg, the dorsal sheath. You can feel it behind the knee too. And relax. And now we're gonna float the left leg hip height. I know that's hard to tell when you don't have a mirror around. You don't want to come higher than the hip, but you want to press towards the space behind you. Like there's a benevolent force on your ankle, gently guiding you back. And then bring your right arm forward. And there's a benevolent force on your wrist guiding you forward. What's on the mat presses into the mat. Lower your right hand down just a little in front of your shoulder. Lower your right foot down and come onto the sole of your right foot. Press towards your pinky edge, and we're opening up the body, coming into a variation of Ardha Charanjasana, the half moon. And you're going to take your left hand onto your hip, and we're going to spiral the torso open. Press into the entire right hand. Do not dump into the bottom of your palm. Use all the fingers and the pads of the fingers and press into your mat. Do not dump downward. If you're feeling unsteady, you can use your right foot, I'm tapping it, slide it backwards from where you are, like a kickstand, like a bike kickstand, and that will give you more support. And really press towards the pinky edge of your left foot. And now, see if you can lift your left leg hip height. There's that benevolent force again, pulling on your left heel. How would it feel if you extended the left arm? Is the river flowing, or are you holding everything? One more breath. Lower the left foot, lower the left arm, bend your left knee, take the knees a little wider, the feet closer, and we'll sit back for an extended cat stretch. Press your fingers to the front of the mat or the space you're in. Relax your head. Passive mind, active body. Take another breath. Let's lift up again to tabletop. Take your right knee a little closer. Nope, take your left knee a little closer to your right knee, so it's more in the center. And slide your right leg long. Let's rock back and forth on the metatarsal pad. Invite the pinky, get everyone involved. Come to neutral, float the right leg hip height, lengthen back. Extend the left arm from the shoulder, lengthen forward. You're looking at the top of the mat or maybe a foot in front of you. You don't want to break the line from the tip of the tailbone through the apex of your skull. Take another breath. Lower your left hand. It's about a palm distance in front of your shoulder. Lower your right foot. Come onto the sole of your right foot and press towards the pinky edge. And now bring your right palm onto your right hip. Trust the entire left hand. Pads of all the fingers. Don't dump weight. And now spiral your torso towards the center of your room. Remember, you have that left foot. You can use it as a kickstand, bringing it a little behind you if you feel off center. And when you're feeling steady, float your right leg hip height, continuing to lengthen towards the space behind you. If you'd like, you can float your right leg, your right arm upward. That's just icing on the cake. Feel the flow. Flow like the river. And you're strong like the mountain, still and strong like the mountain. One more breath. Beautiful. Lower the right hand, bend the right knee, knees wide, feet together. Let's take another extended cat stretch. And then come back to tabletop. Your palms underneath your shoulders, hips over your knees. Inhale, sink into cow. Curl your toes under. And we're gonna press toward your thumbs. Because we're gonna come into our first downward dog. Lift your tailbone. Keep your knees bent for a moment. Lift your tailbone. Press towards your thumbs. You really want to get that tailbone as high as you can. And now slowly lower the heels as much as you can. Keep the breath flowing. Let's do that one more time. Bend the knees. You're on the metatarsal pads. Inhale. And slowly lower the heels. Bend your knees again. You're in tabletop. Inhale, sink into cow. And we're going to take a giant step forward with the right foot. We're coming into lunge. So if you want to use blocks, don't be shy about that. Equal weight distribution with the hands. Slide a little back and forth on your left knee so you're not directly on your kneecap. You'll find that spot where it feels comfortable. You're just resting the top of the left foot. Pretty much all the weight is on the bottom of our right foot. Engage your left buttock. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Deep breath in, full breath out. One more breath. Inhale and raise the arms as if our shoulders started at the bottom of the rib cage. Lifting from the bottom of the rib cage. Sink the hips. You might even encourage them forward a little if your hips feel open. It's not a force. One more breath. Lower your arms. Rock your hips back, digging your right heel into the mat. You feel a stretch to the back of the right leg. Now we're going to stretch that right leg behind us. Coming onto the metatarsal pad. You take a little step in with the right foot. Feels a little awkward, but you're only stepping in about an inch, 2 inches. And then the left foot is gonna meet the right foot, coming into plank. Imagine little helium balloons underneath your armpits, lifting you. You should really feel this in the core, those oblique muscles we worked on earlier. Diagonal line of the body as you press out the heels and press out the top of the head. One more breath. Lower down to your knees, tops of the feet. Sit back, child's pose. You can have your arms in front or your arms behind you. What feels right? Let's inhale up again into tabletop and take a dip into cow. Giant step forward with the left foot. Even distribution of weight with the hands. Give a little slide forward or back on the right knee. Find your position. We're just resting on the top of that right foot. Most of the weight is on the bottom of your left foot. This time, can you imagine your inner thighs drawing together? Inner thighs drawing together. Engage the right buttock. Shoulder blades sliding down your back. Still like the mountain. Low like the river. As you inhale, you're breathing, lifting from the base of the rib cage. Lower the arms down, rock the hips back, dig your left heel into the mat. And now we're going to take that left leg behind us. You can even help it with your hand. Bring it out long behind us, press into the metatarsal pad, press out the heel. And we're taking a shorter stance now. That's what helps set the stage in plank. Just step inward towards your head, about an inch or two. And then the right leg comes to meet the left. Press out the heels, lengthen out the crown of the head, and imagine those helium balloons underneath your armpits. Gives a spread through the upper back, opens the chest a bit, and you can redo that, press out the heels and lengthen out the crown of your head. Hopefully you're feeling it in the core. Take one more breath. Let's lower down to the knees, tops of the feet, and we'll sit back in child's pose one last time. Hands in front or hands behind? What feels right to you? Let's bring the hands forward once again. We'll come into tabletop and prepare for another downward dog. So you want to press towards your thumbs. Spin your fingers out so that the pointer finger's more centered. Sink the belly, lift the tailbone, curl the toes under, inhale. And on the exhale, lift that tailbone again. Relax the head as much as possible.
You're more than welcome to always practice Adho Mukha Savasana with bent knees. There's no rule to always do it with straight legs. You'll find what works for you. Why would you do it any way else? Let's take another breath. Wherever you are, deeper bend in the knees and walk your feet up to meet the hands. Feet are hip distance apart, and we're going to dangle over the body. Notice where the weight in your feet are. If it's back by the heels, you want to bring the weight forward towards the metatarsal pads. You can grab hold of your elbows if you'd like and nod the head yes and shake no. If the back is a bit of a problem this morning, you can place your palms onto your thighs. You can just let your arms dangle, what feels right. Let's take one more breath here. Take 2 thumbs and place them in the crease where the thigh meets the body. Press into the body and a little downward, and we're going to roll up with the back of the heart. That's just a nice way to come up, protecting your back. Press into 3, triangle the feet, we'll call it. It's through the metatarsal pad and making a triangle to the center of the heel and completing the triangle back up to the metatarsal pad. Really press into that imagery and you'll feel the quads firing up, the lift above the knee, tailbone, reaching through an imaginary line to the earth beneath you. And reach your arms out to the side above the head. Palms will come together and we'll draw them to the heart center. Another Vinyasa flow. As we bring our arms wide out to the side, have soft knees, let them flow like the river. And we're going to swan dive down. And your fingertips will either touch the mat or you'll slide your palms on the shins, somewhere between your ankles and your knees. We're going to splay the sit bones and open the chest. You're looking at your mat to keep a long spine. Splay the sit bones and open the chest. Take another breath. On an exhale, bow down over your body, forward fold. And on the inhale, reverse swan dive, reach your arms out to the side, power into the floor with those feet. Palms come together and we bring them back to the heart center. Another time, reach your arms out to the side, swan dive down. Fingertips on the mat or palms somewhere on the shins. Open the sit bones, flare the sit bones, open the chest. Flare the sit bones, open the chest. Keep breathing, flare the sit bones, open the chest. On the next exhale, bow down, forward fold. Bend the knees, inhale, reach out to the side, above. Palms come together, right at the heart center. Last time, reach your arms wide out to the side. Exhale, swan dive over the body. Find your hand placement. Flare the sit bones. Open the chest through the sternum. So you're sliding your shoulder blades towards your tailbone. Sliding your shoulder blades towards your tailbone. flaring the sit bones. One more breath. Exhale, bow down over the body. Soft knees. Swan, reverse swan dive up. Palms come together. Bring your hands to the heart center. Release. Just shake out the arms a little as you look around your space. If you brought a strap, time to get it. If you don't have one, I'll show you a variation. But let me show you with the strap or tie first. So let's place the strap or tie in your left hand first. Time to really open up the shoulders. And you're going to reach your left hand out to the side. I know I'm opposite from you. And reach that left hand over your head so that your left elbow is as far as you can to the middle of your skull. You know, the strap is hanging down your back. We're now going to take the right hand and bring it on the left elbow and help that left elbow a little bit more to the midline. It probably won't be much more. Maybe mine came a half of an inch. At these ventures, your tailbone sometimes wants to stick out to help too. So can you try to remember pressing the center of your heels down? Now, release your right hand and have it in a hitchhiker stance, thumbs up. Now turn your thumb down and bend your right arm behind you and grab hold of the strap. So both hands are on the strap. Walk both hands towards one another. When you've gone as far as you can, and you'll know because you'll feel the sensation in the right shoulder, gently pull up, gently with your left palm. It's known as flossing, and some teachers will floss up and down, but today we're just going to do a gentle pull up. Remember to keep pressing down with your feet. So some people can actually continue walking their fingers together, and you're more than welcome to continue seeing how close you can walk your fingers together. This is actually a great tool to do this. In the morning, you know, it's hard to warm up the body that much in an hour and 15 minutes, believe it or not, but you might try later on today. So first we're going to release the right hand. You can let it slide down your belt or strap and then release the left hand. Take your right hand and left hand, we're gonna hug ourselves, then the left hand will be on top and hug. And try to walk around as far as you can so that when you breathe in, you're really feeling the hug. Another breath. You notice again how sensation flows. I'm speaking for myself, but there was a time there I thought that sensation was never going to leave, and now it has flowed on. Okay, so other side. Pass the strap on to your other hand. Bend your elbow, bring your elbow as much as you can to the center of your head. The strap is hanging down. It's parallel to your spine. So there's a really, it just seems to be human nature. The tailbone wants to stick out as if it wants to meet the strap too. Remember to keep crushing those sesame seeds underneath your heel. Bring your left arm out to hitchhiker stance, thumb up, turn that thumb down, and bend your left elbow so that the left palm can reach the strap or tie. I think I forgot to bring the left hand and help the right elbow. So if you wanted to go back and do that, you could probably get a little more real estate out of that stretch and then go back to your hitchhiker stance. There's no harm in doing that. Every class, mistakes. So you're walking your palms together. Notice the difference. It is pretty remarkable. Breathe. Keep pressing down with the heels. There's no need to have the back bevel. Let the river flow. My breath. Let your left palm slide down the strap, or you can just release it. We'll release the right hand. Drop your tie for a moment. We're going to hug again. The left arm will be on the bottom. The right arm will be on top. Don't be shy about hugging. Could you imagine your fingertips touching the spinal column? Breathe. Breathe into the palms so that when you exhale, you feel like you could reach the fingertips even closer. Slowly release your palms. A little gentle shoulder release. You're going to take your right hand on your left shoulder and then your left palm on top of your right hand. Press back and look over your right shoulder. Keep pressing into the floor. Stand up tall. And release. Take your left palm on your right shoulder. Take your right palm on top of your left hand. Press back. Look over your left shoulder. Relax. Shoulder rolls forward. As loose as you can. Shoulder rolls back, ending with an open heart. Relax. We're going to lower down with Malasana, the yogi squat. So if you'd like to have blocks stacked behind you and practice using blocks, please do. Otherwise, the feet are going to be mat distance apart. Toes point out slightly. We're grounding the heels. We're thinking of the tailbone like a heavy kangaroo tail. I'm going to slowly begin to lower down. Hands in prayer, if you can manage that, and press the thumb against your sternum, sternum against your thumb. Elbows into the inner legs, inner seam of the legs. Letting them prop open. You can really feel the heaviness in the tailbone. Hold my breath. Release, bring your hands behind you. Lower your bottom down, keep the knees bent. Begin to lower your spine down onto the mat. So if you have a bolster nearby, let's bring that over. A folded blanket, a large pillow. I'd like to avoid a block just because I'd rather use something a little more mushier, but it is what it is. And when you feel settled, do a little bit of inverting. Press your feet into the mat, slide your prop, hold a blanket, bolster, large pillow underneath your sacrum. Let's just take a moment to get settled. Draw your shoulder blades together underneath you. Heavy skull, you're lengthening the skull towards the space behind you, so the chin's nodding down slightly. We're calming, settling. And when you're ready, draw one knee into the chest and then the other. And make sure there's no pinching feeling on the lower back. And if so, then extend the legs. The universe being the master puppeteer. And so all you have to do is give over. Let there be a bend to the legs and ease to the knee joints. You're being held. Let the ankle joints be at ease. Let your inner gaze be at the area about a half inch below your navel at Dantien, Dantien, Dantien. This is the field of fluidity in Taoism. Our field of fluidity. It is the center of our body, anatomically and energetically. And you feel the breath here now. Slowing our river of breath, slowing as if you had a reservoir from which to draw from.
Slowly now, bend one knee at a time. Step one foot at a time on your mat. Slide the bolster just below your buttocks or your prop, whatever prop you're on, and then slide your legs long, allowing your lower back to sink into the surface beneath you. Once again, taking a few moments to be still, like a mountain, and flow like a river. As we take these last few moments in rest, I offer you these final words from Lao Tzu, from a translation of the Tao Te Ching. Soft and strong. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding. But water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. The wise leader knows that yielding overcomes resistances, and gentleness melts rigid defenses. If the leader were not like water, the leader would break. The ability to be soft makes the leader a leader. This is another paradox. What is soft is strong. Beginning to deepen your breath. Slowly bring awareness back into the space you're in. And wake up the physical body, however it feels right for you. A big stretch, wiggling the fingers and toes, hugging in the knees. And when you're ready, rolling onto one side. Take a breath there. Smooth transitions. And when you're ready, join me, sitting upright and at ease. Bring two palms together. Gently bowing the mind to the heart. We'll end class in metta, wishing peace to all, love to all, light to all. And bowing to that light that resides in all of us, knowing it's the light that connects us all. Namaste.